Well, now, y'all, it's your man back with the doubleheader on this election day. This is Foul Sharpton, Slick Gregory, reporting on the Bamboozle Again News Network with the latest that I'm getting through social media progress updates, I guess, on the election. If this kind of feel like real like Twilight Zone-ish, like I'm in a real life simulation of the outer limits, where critical thought or independent thinking has just gone by the wayside in mass. This reminds me of the verse when it said, uh, I forgot, shucks, but something to the effect of, please forgive me, where the Most High said, because they believe a lie, I will send a great delusion that they will believe a lie. Based on whatever your political preference is, based on demographic, age, race, religious ideology, you're basically just going for the person who telling you the lie you want to hear. There's nothing new under the sun. This reminds me back in the Old Testament where they had judges, and I forgot the prophet name, but the people went to him and said, we want a king. You know what I'm saying? So God tell the people, well, if you want a king, he gonna, take the strongest of your young men and put them in his army, and he gonna take the best of your crops for himself. He gonna take your daughters and put them in his harem. We're essentially, in my humble opinion, fighting who will be the king over us. Now, ever more clearly, I'm saying why the word says that we should live in the way that the word says without, getting tied up into denominations and all that. Trying to please the Lord in our personal lives. To me, this is like Nero back in the day going, to the disciples, during the Sabbath, and then he getting up in the pulpit and telling them to vote for him, and then the disciples go out and instead of doing what God tells them to do, they campaigning for Nero. Yeah, I seen a couple homies, right, through Facebook, right, and they had posted, I'm paraphrasing, I'm pro Kamala, right, which, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Don't make me none. But if you don't vote for Kamala or I'm voting for it, and if you don't like it, delete me. This is causing a very antagonistic, adversarial type of rhetoric among people who should be friends. Like I was wondering, like, let's say, I'm in a household marriage, right, and I'm Trumpazoid, and then my wife is pro Kamala. Like a house divided can't stand. So how that work? I'm under the belief that these brothers are saying pro Kamala, because I'm okay. If you ask them, okay, if she get in now, currently she's in charge now because Joe sleep, right? So she's second in command. So what is she gonna do? We've seen clips, well, I've seen them anyway, where she says she's not gonna do anything specifically for black folk, right? I think she promised Negro men legalization of herbs and some loans and whatnot. But you know what I'm saying? Like, why are we so invested? Why are we so, you know what I mean? I just don't get it. This reminds me of the episode, if y'all ever seen South Park, where they had an episode where as though one of the characters, he was the deciding vote in the election of the school mascot. And he's like, well, he kind of like me, like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah. But everybody hitting him, it's your patriotic right to vote. People have died for the right to vote. You need to vote. They, spewing that rhetoric, right? So I think at the end he cast his ballot, but they don't say who it was. But here's what the kicker though, because even though it's a cruise show, they always have some type of moral at the end of the story. And the kicker was his choices to vote for the school mascot was either a turd sandwich or a douchebag. Those are your choices. Two choices ain't no options. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not pro Trump either. He might be more, I guess, with the most glaring issues that uh, had the country, in turmoil, economy, immigration, the border, geopolitical stuff. You know what I mean? Essentially, picking the lesser of two evils, you're still just choosing evil. It's just the evil that might make you a little more comfortable. I don't even understand why we even fooling with this stuff, yo. It ain't no matter who getting there, the black community ain't gonna change none. You know what I'm saying? Like what? It's like we fighting, voting for the warden of the prison, and then coming to blows over it. And lifelong friends, you know what I mean? And these people don't care nothing about you. It'd be no different. Like they do every 4 years, promise you a whole bunch of stuff, shucking job all in the church and whatever, and then forget all about you as soon as they get in there. But this is where, to me, the delusion kicks in, right? The woman is currently in charge now. That's like me being, okay, I'm a shitty supervisor, right? Or I'm the supervisor and you ain't seen me, right? And then the person over top of me retires or whatever the case may be. And then I go to all the employees and say, y'all should campaign for me to be the general manager. When I do a shitty job at what's under the scope of my control and authority now. But then I just tell you I'll do a better job when I get more authority and more power and I can't handle the stuff I got now. Like I got one homie, loosely worded, you know what I'm saying? Now he'll make these like joke, like the town I went to high school in is the oldest black neighborhood in America. It's all Hispanic now. So I'm like, cuz, you keep complaining about the Hispanics taking over, right? But the woman you're, pandering for is currently in charge of immigration. And then he start talking about why they been doing it. Yeah, but she can stop it now. So it's just gonna get worse. Like, we sold out to the system, yo. Yo, this is insane, yo. Like the German dude who came up with that scientific theory that human beings were nothing more than biological machines. They have proven that man to be true. Everyone's program. You ever know now? Like I said in the last video, where them brothers who stand up or sisters who, like the Sada Shakors, you know what I mean? Them type folk, they don't even exist no more. And if they is, they locked up, never getting out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, it's hard to even quantify what I'm perceiving and just, you know what I'm saying? You don't even fight this hard for your kids. Like, you won't even fight this hard for your community. And on top of it, no matter who you vote for, let me reiterate this, the electoral college, that's what they taught me in school, selects the president. Typically, they go with the popular vote. But when we talk about Bush and Kerry or Bush and Gore, you know what I mean, there's a few other instances, they went against the popular vote. Your vote don't matter. They're just doing a what I want to call it, a litmus test to see where everybody's at with it. But all the stuff like, let's say, Project 25, that's going to happen anyway. Because society's going to get so bad, they're going to have to come in with lockdown measures. No matter who in there. So that's coming anyway, even if the fake black woman get in there. This is it's hard for anybody to perceive that the people in power that you don't see have a game plan. And then here's what's tripping to me as well. For the so-say Christian folk, black Christian folk, like all that we're saying is already written. But we're still getting caught up in personalities. And like, this is insane, yo. And then they're more glaring to me, the sustainable goals at the World Summit. Robots, you know what I mean? They selling robots now. And, you know what I'm saying? Natural medicine is deemed alternative. You know what I mean? McDonald's coming out with a double Big Mac chicken sandwich. There's probably clone meat. Yeah, it's like, it's just, I don't know, yo. I can't even get it out. Like, this is amazing. But I can see how, like, when it talks about, brother turning against brother or mother against daughter or man's enemies coming out of his own household. I see how the table is set for this. And this is probably just the birth pain. Just like we saw with COVID time, it is all they got, like Hitler said, all you got to do is tell a big enough lie and tell it often enough, and eventually people believe it. Not only do they believe it, but they attack those who don't believe it. That's like the thing I'm saying. I can see how like a social credit system will go in place where, let's say you say something detrimental, or almost like communist China, where you say something that's, not the official story of the government, and your homeboy tell on you, you know what I'm saying, and he gets some more ducats on his universal income. Well, I can feel it. But I ain't like, you know, downtrodden and nothing like that. I personally think it's funny. I find ignorance funny. Like, even if someone had a different opinion than me, and I hear them out, and I hear they come to their own conclusions based on the information they have, I can accept that. The fact you using your own brain, you know what I'm saying? Or you searching for your own information. Essentially, we should feel disrespected. Like I said, like, we don't ride unless the people on TV antagonize us to ride. We ride for George Floyd, right? But when Sandra Massey got unalive for invoking the name of Yeshua, ain't nobody bust a grape. You know what I mean? Unless they antagonize you on TV, or they send out the real Al Sharpton and the tippy Tom Negro, then you get all riled up. Now I see why, like, them governmental people or whatever view us as sheep to be led to the slaughter, fattened up for the kid. You know what I mean? If anybody's gonna run on any kind of political campaign, I'ma clean up the food system and take all these cancer causing agents out of it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody even talking about none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get all these chemicals in the medical industry out, and we're going back to natural remedies that people been using since the dawn of mankind and got us to this point. I'm gonna stop zapping up all the babies as soon as they come out the womb. Actually, I do like my man Gaddafi. I'ma financially incentivize y'all getting married and staying together. I'll give you a home. I'ma set you up for success, baby. Not in man. But hey, you can't fault Babylon for Babylon, which I think one of the root definitions of Babylon is confusion. Everybody confused. Man, I seen something I ain't had a chance to click on. Man, what, they kicked in the door or something and unalived the squirrel, yeah? Just like they did the what was his name, Harambe, the monkey or the ape or whatever. Man, they executing animals now, yeah. SWAT team, you know what I mean? All this government money to take down a sink, to take down SpongeBob. What was that? What was his sidekick name? I'm the only person that think wrong with this here. Wrong with the whole demonstration out of order. You know what I'm talking about? It's funny, yeah. This, this we should be rejoicing, because as Babylon falls, the true God's true people will be rising up. I think that's why we're going through all this stuff to harden us. That's why we probably left the 9 to 5 culture. He's actually moving us out of, the ways of Babylon unbeknownst to us. Because let's say the second exit, we're going to have some type of experience of being totally dependent on the Most High, and not the illusion of the system, the job, the finance, the titles, that all ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? I think this is all, well, I don't think, I know everything is all strategic done, by the Most High. Because, like, I ain't working no, you know what I mean? Now I'm going back into a job field where I help people, which is my claim to fame. But I can't work no real job, not around these folks. They irritate my spirit and I leave. What you gonna do? I don't know, but I ain't doing that. And he just make a way. You know what I'm saying? I check myself, make sure I ain't getting lazy or in my own thinking and understanding, but my spirit be triggered. Like, my spirit is actually, like, kind of uplifted after that social security kind of thing. I turned that into a joke, because everything a joke in here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm kind of like, I had this, like, feeling of anticipation. You know what I mean? Because trust and believe, let's say, if you subscribe to my content or whatever, you're probably, we're like-minded at the very least. For all the isolation we've endured, or ostracization, so on and so forth. Get ready, because all the people who ostracize you and try to set you up or talk down on your name, they all going to be coming back to you and asking for advice. Watch. I guess you be led by the Most High at that point in time. Because you probably the only person they know who operate the way you do and say the stuff you say. We finna rise up. Yes, sir. And first, everything happens first spiritually. You know what I'm saying? That's why we had to get isolated. You know what I'm saying? That's why we had to get, shunned by family and so on and so forth. It was actually for our protection. Could you imagine being around in close confines of these people during this time? Our whole life's been written. We just walking it out, baby. And I get in my little emotion, get frustrated, then I turn into a joke. But I said this in Baltimore. I was hungover one day, and I was just walking around the city trying to walk my hangover off. And I said, man, and this was probably 2017, 2018, almost 7 years ago, another symbolic number in my life. And I said, man, I might not start coming up to the world or Babylon start going down. And that seemed to be the case. I got a little glimpse of it when I got back here and got to work and whoop, the whoop, the whoop. And then that got pulled. I guess as another test. The disappoint as I go through the disappointment ritual. I thought I had my right hand man. I thought I had a little decent junk, you know what I'm saying, that was conducive to where I was at with it. You know what I mean? All that fell apart. And then I kept striving. I kept maintaining, you know what I'm saying? You teach me greater level of faith, greater level of submission. You know what I'm saying? I got put in these various tests. You can go on be accepted and logically, but my spirit wasn't agreeing with it. So I gracefully bowed out. You know what I'm saying? I fought the good fight, still fighting it in numerous different aspects. You know what I'm saying? The what it say? The righteous are as bold as lions. Now I'm a humble dude, you see me, or speak or whatever. But when it comes to like this type, well, not this type of stuff, but when it comes to something on the really rails, nah, we ain't. Nah, I done been through too much to just go along to get along now. And y'all don't even get along. You know what I'm saying? That's stupid to me. You know what I mean? But this is just a very interesting time. It's almost like living in that book, the George Orwell book, 1984. It's just 2024. And on that note, man, I'ma holler at y'all.